Hello friends, my name is Vikas Toshniwal and I am an editor by profession, and today I am going to show you the basics of editing in the Adobe Premiere Pro CC. So let's start. So this is Adobe Premiere Pro CC 2019. We select on new project. Now first, before creating a project, we select on scratch disk. What is scratch disk? Scratch disk is something whenever we render a file, which I'll tell you on the later stage what is renders. When we render a file, it occupies a certain space. Okay, so now if I prefer an external hard drive for the scratch disk, so that it doesn't occupy much of space of my system, and the project runs very smoothly. So now I click on browse. I go to my external hard drive named Anushpala. I go to renders, which I had created earlier, the folder. I click here, click choose, and I do the same for the rest of it. Now I rename the project to basics of editing. Now click on browse for the location to where to save it. On desktop, I've created a folder named basics of editing. Now go to projects, save it here, choose, click the OK button. Now in order to import the files, you have two methods. One of them is right click and import. Now I go to desktop, basics of editing, brushes, click on the file I want to import and I want to edit on, and select the last file with shift plus click, import. The files are imported. Or else you can use another method. Double click on this monitor, on this tab, okay, but only in this area. Double click on the file you want to import and you want to edit on, select, import. Now there is another method to import the files. You can open the folder directly. In order to minimize the project, we use Command plus H. Okay, now you can open the folder, basics of editing, brushes. Now Command tab, again Command tab, select the file you want and drag and drop. Then you can even import the files from here. Basics of editing. Import it. Also, there is another way to import the files, which is go to File, Import, and then click on the file what you want and then import. It's imported. There's another way. What you can do is, for importing the files, you can click on Command I, select the files you want, and then hit on import. we select the files and then create a folder and put in the bin. We name the bin to brushes, or if you want to rename in another way, you can right click and then rename whatever name you want to give it and then press enter. Now we have to create a sequence. Right click, new sequence, click the OK button, select a file and then drag and drop. The two options: change sequence settings, keep existing settings. If you select keep existing settings, it will not change the settings you had kept, whatever sequence settings it was. But if you select on change sequence settings, it will take the settings of the video clip. So I prefer to select on change sequence settings. Or else there is another way to creating a sequence. You can select on a clip, then right click. You can select on new sequence from clip. Now we have created a new sequence and it has the sequence setting is same as a clip, as a video clip. You can drag and drop outside and create another folder. I'll name it as timelines and I'll rename this as basics of editing. Now if you double click on this, this will open on the source monitor, and if you play this, this will play on the program monitor. And this is the timeline monitor, and this is the monitor which has the projects, folders, the library, info. The info tab gives you the specifications of the video clip you are using on the edit. About the effects tab, I'll tell you on the later videos. And there's a markers, which again I'll tell you on the later videos. And there's history, which is whatever you have done since you have created the project. For example, if you want to play it here, so what you have to do is double click on the file, play here. For example, we want it from here, so we pause it by pressing spacebar and click on I, which is in I button, and then we want it supposing till here, so we click on O, out button. Then we drag and drop it on the timeline. Supposing we want to see what's ahead of this, so we'll go here, we'll bring the cursor here, and then the bracket appears, and then we drag it. So now we can see the video which is ahead, the actual footage which is ahead of it. For example, if you want to see what was previous of this, so we'll bring the cursor here, a red bracket here appears, we'll pull it backwards, and then you can see. Now if you want to see what's before this again, then we click on the clip on the timeline, drag it on the right side, then we select here, and then we click E, the button E. So it will bring it to the maximum of the head. Plus is for zoom in the timeline, and the minus is for zoom out for the timeline. Now what we do of the gap here, we don't want it, so we right click, we click on the gap, right click here, and then ripple delete, or else you can click on it and delete, so we don't have the blank space here. Now if you want to make a cut here, what we do is we select the razor tool, and the shortcut for it is C. cut it here, and then selection tool is shortcut is V. We select this, then delete, again delete. Now if you want to add another shot, what we can do is, I want to add another shot now. So what do? I go to my folder, I check which footage I want. Supposing I want this clip, so I'll drag and drop on the source monitor. I'll play this here, and I click I, and I'll click stop it and press O. Now I don't want the audio file from this. If I drag and drop directly, it brings on the now I drag and drop directly, it brings on the audio file as well. Now I don't want this, so what do? I select on drag video only. I click on this and drag and drop. So now when we play this, this is how it comes. Now if you see, there's a difference in size. Now right click on this, scale to frame size. Now this is perfect. Now if you want to zoom in on it, what do? Go to effect, controls, go to scale. Okay, now go to position and change the position of it. Okay, now you see. Now supposing if you don't want this settings, you want it back as it was before, so you go click on this, reset effect. So it will reset the effect and it will bring to its previous position. So this is Vikash Toshniwal signing off. This was it for today, and my next video will be little more detailed, so please do watch this video so that you don't miss out on anything. And please do let me know if you want me to make a specific video on certain aspects of editing. I'll be happy to help you. And also please do subscribe to my channel Wiki Life. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you for watching this video.